Good morning. I would like to urge upon the world community, especially the big democracies of the world, as to why Bangladesh should be left on the mercy of the Indian rods. I have particularly termed this word rods, regional organized demonic syndicate. This group of mafias, interest groups in the subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, destabilizing the whole region. And they are originated basically in India. Thereafter spread over the whole region. And Bangladesh has been the worst sufferer since its independence. Before I start my very brief speech, I would like to show you some important points. Firstly, a short video clip of the British Parliament, and you can see what it was told in 2017 about Bangladesh's human rights and the enforced disappearances, so on and so forth.
Nevertheless, the question has been asked, nevertheless, perfectly proper for the First Secretary briefly to reply. Well, Mr. Speaker, you and the House will be aware, I can only speak on behalf of the government, and I can assure my honourable friend that Bangladesh remains an important human rights priority area for the Foreign Office, and that we continue to raise allegations of enforced disappearances at all levels of the government of Bangladesh. And I think
you have heard what was said in the British Parliament in 2017. Despite such strong words against the Sheikh Hasina's regime on the human rights violations and enforced disappearances, Sheikh Hasina once again came to power through extremely rigged election held on 30th December 2018. Following the election, the then US President Donald Trump wrote to Sheikh Hasina with very strong words. Donald Trump wrote to Sheikh Hasina on 18 January 2018 to renew her commitment to protecting human rights, individual freedom of expression, and democratic institutions. This commitment is particularly important in light of the international calls for an independent investigation into the December 30, 2018 national election. Ongoing reports of attacks on the political opposition and their supporters and repression of journalists are tainting the national election and Bangladesh's international reputation. We have seen the letter of the then President Donald Trump, but no investigation, nothing has taken place. Sheikh Hasina did not care what the world community says. She knows she is being strongly backed by the Indian rods. And she continued, rather killing, extrajudicial killing, than enforced disappearances, massive corruption, state bank heist, so on and so forth, continued to grow up and up until today. We continue to get the hopes from the world community, and it is providing the inspiration to the people of Bangladesh to topple Sheikh Hasina through a mass uprising. And that is what is going to happen soon, hopefully. Now let us see what the current US President Joe Biden has said, which is very much inspiring for the people who are suffering from the persecutions of the authoritarian government like Sheikh Hasina. Let us see what he said. The US President, Mr. Joe Biden, has said on 4th February 2021 that the American people are going to emerge from this moment stronger, more determined, and better equipped to unite the world in fighting to defend democracy because we have fought for it ourselves. In light of President Joe Biden's promise to the world community to defend democracy, we trust in that. Bangladesh is in severe crisis at the moment, and we have seen the sanctions given by the US administration on the police officers, and later on we have seen the visa restrictions. These are very important. These are required because they have gone reckless. And the elections is ahead. The US administration has said that they will ensure the democratic, I repeat, democratic election process. It's not the next election. It has to be democratic. And let us see what the Chief Election Commission of Bangladesh said.
মৌলিক কোনো পরিবর্তন না হয় সাংবিধানিকভাবে তাহলে কিন্তু আমাদের যে অর্জন খুব যে একটা ভালো হবে বা খুব যে মন্দ হবে আমি বলবো ধারে কাছে হয়তো থাকবে তারপরও সেটা নিশ্চিত করে বলা যাবে দিন শেষে
So what a Chief Election Commissioner has said, he said, you can say that he has ensured his indemnity in advance. He said that if there is no change in constitution, he cannot ensure the free, fair and proper elections, sort of like this. So, it is the responsibility of all community to ensure that particular word, democratic election process. To ensure this, we need to first topple mother of Mafia Sheikh Hasina. Then we form the strong People's Executive Committee to draft the new constitution, which will be passed by the people through the referendum. Thereafter, the election should be taken place. But the latest activities of the Indian Rats indicate that they do not want to lose the control over Bangladesh. As America has directly said, democratic election process. And Narendra Modi went to make some, arrangements so that Sheikh Hasina could continue to remain in power. But he failed. We must remember that America controls 1/5 economy of the world. It's a democracy which they have been practicing for more than 250 years. Because of their constitution and also their commitment to the democracy, including their commitments to the world community. So, none can stop them. We are in grave danger, these 180 million people of Bangladesh, and we are in the global village. So the stakeholders will ensure that the people of Bangladesh has their own constitution, which they never had since the independence. Bangladesh is a country of VIPs. It's not people's country. Like Sheikh Hasina is the constitution. That is the constitution for the people. It must be understood. She is also the judiciary. She's everything. It cannot be allowed to go on like this. Because it is easy for Indian Rats to control a single man, but they can't control 180 million people. Sheikh Hasina's family is the oligarch of Putin. And again, they are the members of the Indian Rats. Altogether, the Bangladesh is already on the brink of a failed state. As I said, that the Rats entry in Bangladesh started right from 1972. We have seen only during the period of Zia Rahman's regime, Indian Rats were not that much effective in Bangladesh. And so Zia Rahman had to lose his life. And that was also carried out by the Indian Rats and other mafias, Bangladeshi mafias. we must have friendly relationship with India and other neighboring states on the basis of diplomacy. Through diplomatic channel, not through the goons, mafias or rots. That cannot happen any further. Let us see how the Indian High Commissioners at Dhaka behave like the political member of Bangladesh Awami League. You see, I'm showing you 3 comments of last 3 High Commissioners, Indian High Commissioners at Dhaka. One said, some Gorai Shami, the last one, said, if we do not have friend in Awami League, Mafia, Sheikh Hasina's Awami League, we don't have any friend in Bangladesh. Can this be really a diplomatic norms? It's a state violation of the diplomatic norms. And other diplomats used to go to the Awami League's political platform in public place and is to deliver a speech in favor of the Awami League and is to mention the names of the Awami League leaders like Bangabandhu, Sheikh Hasina, and their best friend Awami League, so and so forth. So ridiculous it sounds because it is never covered by the diplomatic norms. Then all of us know that Pranab Mukherjee, the then Indian president who has died, he said in his book and clearly confessed that they are the people who actually steered this 111 that we call in 2007, through which it paved the way to bring Sheikh Hasina to the state power of Bangladesh. And Bangladesh has been burning for last 15 years. The process started from Pranab Mukherjee's presidential palace. At the time, he happens to be the chief of the ROTS, Indian ROTS. Again in 2014, if you have seen, this is unprecedented that Indian Foreign Secretary visited Bangladesh and forced the Jatiya Party Chief General Shah to participate in the election of 2014. It's the gross violation of the diplomatic norms. So these are the incidents that we have been seeing. The people of Bangladesh, I must say, the worst sufferer. You remember, India is taking all the benefits. We are not being benefited by India and at any account. All the rivers in the upper riparian are being wrongly controlled by India. If you see today, the flood is going on, severe flood is going on in Rangpur and other areas. Because during this rainy season, they open that barrage and the whole area is flooded, so people cannot go for the agriculture. Huge damage cost to the people's property, houses, crops and all. And what happens during the dry season? No water comes from the upper riparian of India. They do not release water. Therefore, that part of the country suffer from extremely horrendous drought. So, no crop also being produced during this season. So, both the seasons, people are deprived of producing their crops or developing their simple livelihoods. So, how can they be a friend? And if you talk about United States of America, they have been with us since our independence. We are earning the highest amount of the foreign currency from America. And Indian ROTS have tried to make the Bangladeshi people hostile to the United States. One example you can see, America wanted to get the lease of St. Martin Island. It's absolutely false. There is no such proof. It is only India. You can see in the screen that writer, he is a retired major, Raghavan, and referred the discussion between the then US ambassador in Pakistan and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, The discussion was on leasing of the St. Martin's Island. And they referred it by whom? The then Indian Deputy High Commissioner at Dhaka at that time. It was not directly said. It was said he has collected it from the files, the two files. You can see I have shown it of the Indian Foreign Ministry. How can that researcher had the access to that file, whereas many other researchers that could not have any access to such files? So these are the propaganda, because we know that India is always inclined to Russia. You can see even they are using the army chiefs selected by the Indian Rods, like the thief army chief Aziz. Fortunately or unfortunately, he called me. In that he said, he is a serving chief of army staff of Mafia Sheikh Hasina, talking to me and saying that extrajudicial killing and the corruption, other things, many points were told. So remember, he said that Tariq Siddique, then another is Brigadier General Zia. Now he has been promoted to Major General. Funny, ridiculous indeed. So all these killers were together and it was confessed. This is such an evidence that can be used any court of the world against this mafia gang of Sheikh Hasina. And a historical letter of Interpol has come out recently with inferential evidence following the removal of my name from Interpol Red Notice. Let us hear what that thief Aziz said.
যেমন হলো যে তার জিয়া হলো যত কুকীর্তির হলো এখন জিয়া আর হলো জুবাইর, এই দুইজন হলো তার যত কুকীর্তি তাদেরকে দিয়ে করায়। জিনিসটা বুঝছস তো? আমি এতটুকু বলবো, আর কিছু বলবো না।
জিয়াকে দিয়ে তো আগে থেকেই করছে,
এখনো করায় দোস্ত, এখনো করায়। এবং সে এই গুমের থেকে শুরু করে এগুলা আসলে আমাকে কিন্তু আবেদিন অনেকবার বলছে যে স্যার এগুলো জিয়া করে, জিয়া নিল ধরেই নাই এটা করে, এবং জিয়া এগুলো করাইতো। আমি জিয়াকে চেঞ্জ করার জন্য পর্যন্ত হলো প্রপোজাল নিয়ে হলো গিয়েছিলাম একদম উপরে, না হয় নাই, বুঝছো? ওরা চেঞ্জ করে। তো এখন দোস্ত চাইলেই সবকিছু পারা যায় না। এগুলাকে মনিটরিং করা, এগুলা ব্লক করা, এগুলা যা কিছু এগুলো সব করে এনডিএমসি।
এই অর্গানাইজেশনটা কার আন্ডারে?
এটা হলো হোম মিনিস্টারের আন্ডারে। কিন্তু হোম মিনিস্টারের আন্ডারে হলে এখন হলো যে এটা হলো একদম ডাইরেক্টলি হলো জিটি কন্ট্রোল করে, একদম বলতে পারে 100%।
So we have heard what Aziz has said. The thief army chief Aziz said. He said that he tried to change that extrajudicial killer Brigadier General Zia. He even went up to the Prime Minister to change, but Prime Minister did not agree. What does it mean? Prime Minister also involved in the extrajudicial killing and other criminal activities conducted by this government. 99.9% people of Bangladesh Army are ready to participate in the mass uprising. So Chief of Army Staff alone cannot really control that, because people will take control of their country. They are the owner, stakeholders of their country. Unfortunately, a few points are also coming up that some of the political leaders of the opposition parties, they keep secret contact, or they continue to meet the government officials and the intelligence organizations secretly. So the Indian Rods have taken control of some of the opposition parties that will be further more disastrous to the democratic process of Bangladesh. So it is skeptical whether Rods have also eaten up some of the opposition political parties, so that in the next election there could be an amalgamation of the opposition parties and also the government party, and all together and make some sort of a government, so that in control over Bangladesh, then they can continue to maintain. That's how they dream. But this time this will not happen. Only democracy will prevail, nothing else this time. Finally, let us see how this mother of mafias, Sheikh Hasina, aspired to remain in power. Let us see her a short video. So ridiculous. You have heard this wrong-headed lady, what she says. Huh? She claims that she is the daughter of the father of the nation. And she is proving that she is the daughter of the Gunda Mujib. She is telling, I don't care what type of election is held. I want power. Let the election go to hell. We know that the people of the United States of America fought First World War and Second World War and brought peace in the world. So it doesn't matter whether the leasing of the St. Martin Island was a question or not. But it matters to bring back security balance of the South Asia. If need be, Bangladeshi people would like to see America is coming forward in any form, because Bangladesh has been benefited since its independence by the United States and being harmed by the Indian rots until today. So if we conduct a survey in Bangladesh to assess as to who is the popular to the people of Bangladesh, is it United States of America or India? I can assure you, this survey result would be more or less 98% people of Bangladesh would support United States of America, and maybe more or less 2%, that too from Mafia Hasina's gang, Mafia gang, 2% would support India. It's natural, because if you behave like a friend, we'll definitely welcome. A country can be friend or neighboring country or whatever country of the world through the diplomatic channel, not by these rots, mafias. We are sorry. So I would like to reiterate what President Biden has said. We are better equipped to unite the world in fighting to defend democracy. This time, we hope the same, that United States and other big democracies of the world will come forward to defend democracy in case of Bangladesh, and their commitment is 100% upheld. Long live democracy, long live Bangladesh.